Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Today, we're stepping into the future. Imagine a universe of interconnected virtual worlds where you can work, play, and socialize in ways straight out of science fiction. This is the promise of the Metaverse. But this brave new world has a dark side. The very architects building this digital reality, companies like Meta, Google, and Microsoft, are positioning themselves as its all-powerful gatekeepers. This creates a monumental ethical clash, and today we're diving deep into the dangers of a centralized metaverse and what it means for our freedom, our privacy, and our future. Let's start with the most immediate threat: surveillance. The tech that makes the metaverse so immersive is also a perfect tool for unprecedented data collection. Your VR headset isn't just a screen for your eyes, it's a window into your mind. These devices are equipped with sensors that can track your eye movements, your facial expressions, your vocal inflections, and even your physiological responses like a rising heart rate or a spike in blood pressure. Think about that for a second. We're not talking about tracking clicks and likes anymore. We're talking about tracking your subconscious biological reactions in real time. In the hands of a metaverse gatekeeper, this data is gold. It can be used to build a profile of you that is so deeply detailed, it knows you better than you know yourself. Imagine you're walking through a virtual mall. Your heart rate flutters slightly as you pass a new product. Instantly, a personalized ad for that exact product appears in your virtual vision. Or perhaps your avatar's gaze lingers for a fraction of a second too long on a political poster. That information is logged, and within minutes, your entire virtual experience is subtly curated to push a specific political narrative. The potential for manipulation is staggering. This isn't just about selling you sneakers, it's about shaping your thoughts and behaviors on a fundamental level. And how do they get permission for this? Through those long, legally dense privacy policies that no one ever reads. A study of Meta's Horizon workrooms found that the notices about data collection were deliberately ambiguous, with user interfaces designed to discourage you from understanding what you're actually agreeing to. It's not truly informed consent if it's buried in 50 pages of legalese. This is where regulations like the European Union's GDPR, or General Data Protection Regulation, come in. GDPR insists on explicit consent and data minimization, but the unique nature of metaverse data, especially biometric data, might require entirely new laws. Computer scientists have a huge ethical responsibility here. The principle of privacy by design is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. It means building privacy protections directly into the architecture of these virtual worlds from day one, not slapping them on as an afterthought. It means strong encryption, anonymization, and giving users simple, powerful controls to manage their own data. The architects of the metaverse must decide if they're building a digital playground or a digital panopticon. Beyond surveillance, the metaverse is envisioned as the next great public square, a global forum for expression and ideas. But what happens when that square is privately owned? When a handful of gatekeepers control the space, the fundamental right to free speech becomes dangerously fragile. Centralized platforms get to write their own rules, their own terms of service. They become the judge, jury, and executioner of online speech, with the power to censor or silence any voice they deem controversial or simply bad for business. Content moderation in the metaverse is a nightmare. Unlike a text-based forum, interactions are immersive, real-time, and ephemeral. How do you effectively monitor and stop hate speech or harassment when it's happening in a million private virtual rooms at once? What even constitutes harmful content? That definition changes dramatically from culture to culture. There's a real risk of what's called a lowest common denominator effect. To avoid legal trouble in the most restrictive countries, a global platform might just adopt the strictest content policies for everyone, which would stifle free expression and legitimate debate worldwide. Mark Zuckerberg has often talked about the importance of free expression, but Meta's track record on Facebook and Instagram tells a different story. The relentless pursuit of user engagement often leads to algorithms that amplify misinformation and divisive content because, simply put, outrage gets clicks. Drawing the line between protecting users from genuine harm and chilling open conversation is one of the biggest challenges we face. And to handle this at scale, companies rely on automated algorithms. But these AI moderators are blunt instruments. They are prone to errors and biases, often unfairly removing harmless content while failing to detect genuinely toxic behavior. If you've ever had a post or video unfairly taken down, you know how frustrating and opaque this process can be. The European Union's Digital Services Act, or DSA, is trying to tackle this by forcing large platforms to be more transparent about their moderation and to give users a real way to appeal decisions. These rules could be a blueprint for the metaverse, holding gatekeepers accountable. For the designers and engineers, the goal should be to build a perfectly sterile, censored world. It should be to build systems that foster healthy communities, perhaps by giving users and communities themselves more granular controls to set and enforce their own local rules. The metaverse isn't just a social space. It's an economic frontier, and the gatekeepers are rushing to be its central bankers, its landlords, and its tax collectors. By building not just the worlds, but also the marketplaces, payment systems, and economic rules, they concentrate an enormous amount of power. This raises huge antitrust concerns. In a closed ecosystem, a single company like Meta or Apple can dictate the transaction fees on every digital good sold. They can decide which apps are allowed in their store and which are not, stifling innovation and crushing smaller developers. The European Commission is already worried that gatekeepers will bundle their own services with essential hardware, like a VR headset, forcing you into their ecosystem. We saw this with the browser wars and app store battles of the Web 2 era. The metaverse is just the next battlefield. A key issue is the ownership of digital assets. You might spend real money on a cool virtual outfit or a piece of digital art for your avatar. But do you actually own it? In most centralized platforms, the answer is no. Your ownership is just a license, governed by the company's terms of service. They can take it away at any time. And you certainly can't take your digital possessions with you to another company's virtual world. This lack of interoperability locks you in and cements the gatekeeper's power. Beyond these big-picture problems, the very algorithms that run these virtual economies can create and amplify inequality. Algorithmic bias is a huge problem. Take avatar creation systems. Many have been criticized for offering very limited options for users from non-white backgrounds. These systems, often built on biased data, can reinforce harmful stereotypes. In some cases, features associated with non-Western cultures have been locked behind a paywall, labeled as special content, further marginalizing users. The economic impact is real. If certain types of avatars are implicitly valued more than others, it can lead to social and economic hierarchies within the metaverse. This is digital discrimination, and it's up to the computer scientists and designers to fight it. They must audit their algorithms for bias, provide truly diverse and customizable options, and build economic systems that are fair and accessible to everyone, not just a privileged few. These ethical problems aren't just theoretical. They are happening right now. In the proto-metaverses that are already popular, these platforms offer a sobering glimpse of our potential future. Let's look at Roblox. It's a platform with a massive user base, and a huge number of them are children under 13. Despite its promises of safety, Roblox has been a hotbed for serious harm, including exposure to sexual content, grooming by child predators, and financial exploitation. Numerous lawsuits allege that the company's lack of safety protocols has allowed the platform to be overrun with dangers. Investigations have uncovered organized child exploitation groups operating on Roblox, leading to numerous arrests. The economic model is also deeply troubling. Roblox has been accused of exploiting its young game developers, who create almost all the content. These kids are lured by the promise of making money, but the company takes such a high cut of the revenue that most creators are left with pennies for their hard work. Critics have called it a form of digital child labor. Then there's Meta. The company's pivot to the metaverse was met with deep skepticism, mostly because of its scandalous history with data privacy on Facebook. The Cambridge Analytica scandal, where the data of millions was harvested for political advertising, is a stark reminder of what can go wrong. Meta's control is amplified by its ownership of the popular Oculus VR headsets. This vertical integration gives it the power to shape the entire experience, from the apps in its store to the intimate data collected by the hardware. And early reports from Meta's own Horizon Worlds have already surfaced major issues with harassment and toxic behavior, showing just how difficult content moderation is in these immersive spaces. These case studies are a clear warning. Without strong ethical frameworks and real regulatory oversight, the metaverse could easily become a landscape of exploitation, discrimination, and harm. But a dystopian future is not inevitable. A growing movement is working to build a different kind of metaverse, one that is open, decentralized, and centered on the user. This vision is rooted in the principles of Web 3 and uses technologies like the blockchain. A decentralized metaverse is one where control is distributed across a network of users, not held by a single corporation. Platforms like Decentraland and the Sandbox are early examples. Here, virtual land and in-game items are non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, recorded on a blockchain. This gives you true, verifiable ownership of your digital property. You can buy it, sell it, and trade it freely, without needing permission from a central authority. Governance is often handled by decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs, where community members vote on the rules and future of their world. But decentralization isn't a magic bullet. These systems face their own challenges, like security risks and the danger of wealthy token holders gaining too much power. For any open metaverse to succeed, we need interoperability. That's the ability to move seamlessly between different virtual worlds, taking your avatar, your digital assets, and your friends with you. This is the only way to prevent the rise of new walled gardens. Industry groups like the Metaverse Standards Forum are working on this, trying to create the open protocols needed for different platforms to communicate. And finally, we need smart regulation. Governments are just beginning to grapple with this. Laws like the GDPR and DSA in Europe are a start, but we may need new, metaverse-specific rules to protect biometric data and the rights of our digital avatars. The goal is to find a balance that protects users without stifling innovation. Ultimately, the future of the metaverse will be shaped by the people who build it. Computer scientists, engineers, and designers have a profound ethical duty to create virtual worlds that are safe, fair, and respectful of human rights. This means prioritizing safety over engagement metrics. It means designing for inclusion and accessibility from the very beginning. It means being transparent about how these complex systems work. The creation of the metaverse is a monumental task. The choices we make right now, as developers, as policymakers, and as users, will decide what it becomes. Will it be a dystopian playground for a few powerful corporations, or a vibrant, inclusive new frontier for all of humanity? By demanding openness, championing equity, and insisting on human-centric design, we can build a metaverse that truly enriches our lives and empowers us all.